Hey guys, what's up? I am back on YouTube and on streaming, and today I decided to make the first video again on the tier list, and we're gonna be talking about Pontus, so stay tuned and let's check them out. Alright, here we are again on the custom battle today with Pontus, and we're gonna be analyzing the crap out of these guys. How good are Pontus? How good is Pontus? And in my opinion, Pontus is actually not a bad faction. It's actually a decent one, I think. Maybe not as good as the Seleucids, but nearly there. And it has to do with their infantry and with the choices that they have in special units. Now let's take a look at their units. Of course they have the peasants. Yes, these are the eastern peasants. They are the best type of peasants. 3 attack, 3 defense, 1 charge. That's pretty good. They have the hillmen, 5 attack, 9 defense, 2 charge. These guys, they have good stamina, they're fast moving. These guys are pretty decent, right? But their stats are low, which makes them, well, actually not that decent, and they may charge without orders, so they might ruin your plans. And then you have the Eastern Infantry. Eastern Infantry is kind of the mass version of the hillmen. They also they're also spearmen. They have 3 attack, 10 defense, but they have the bonus fighting cav because they're spearmen. They have poor morale, while the hillmen do not have poor morale. They have normal morale, but the Eastern Infantry has 240 men. Is it worth taking Eastern Infantry over hillmen? I don't think so. I will take hillmen every single time. That's how I work. Just because the Eastern Infantry have really low attack and the poor morale means that they rout at the sound of everything. So that's it. Then we have the Phalanx Pikemen. Phalanx Pikemen, 8 attack, 16 defense, 3 charge. Phalanx Pikes are actually not bad. They are okay. They're better than the Levy Pikemen, as you know. However, these guys, they only have 160 dudes, while, for example, the Phalanx Pikemen for the Seleucids have 240 dudes. So 160 pikemen, it's not the best pikeman unit. It's kind of a weak pikeman unit, okay? But when you go into the bronze shield pikemen are actually a good unit. They are the same as the silver shield pikemen for the Seleucids. These guys are pretty decent. The royal pikemen for the Macedonians are better, but they hold their own and they are pretty good. They have good morale, they have good stamina, they have very long spears. So these guys are amazing. They have 10 attack, 14 defense, and 4 charge. They're good. They're a good pikeman unit. If you mass them, it's pretty good. They're cheaper than the silver shield pikemen, and they have the same stats as them. So definitely worth taking bronze shields. Okay, then we have the stock peltists, and then we have the stock archers, and those are the missile options for the Seleucids. You know, it's not terrible, but you know, it's not good either. It's quite frankly, it's mediocre because they don't have any long-range missile unit, and these guys are just the stock units. So that's it. As far as cav goes, these guys, they have the Pontic Heavy Cav. Pontic Heavy Cav is actually a pretty good unit of cavalry. If you're looking for a missile cavalry unit that you want to charge into battle afterwards, this is the unit to go for. It's the Pontic Heavy Cav. You know, this is the horse archer of the Pontic people. You know, they're not horse archers, of course, but you know, the horse archer is for Parthia as the Pontic Heavy Cav is for Pontus. So that is it. And these guys are there pretty good. They have those 9 attack and those 14 defense that are pretty good. And 9 missile attack, I'll take that for sure. So good at harassing, good at fighting afterwards. These guys are good. And then we have the Cappadocian cavalry, or Cappadocian cavalry. I don't know how to spell it. I would say Cappadocian, I guess. They have 7 attack, 93 defense, 9 charge. They have good morale, very well armored, powerful charge. They can form the wedge formation. They are just a unit of cataphract, pretty much. They have a shield, so I would assume they have a little bit more defense skill and less armor, but you know, they're very well armored either way. 23 defense, that's awesome. So Cappadocian cavalry, there it is. Then we have the Scythed chariots, Ooh, chariots. Chariots are amazing. These guys are pretty good. But they may charge without orders. They might run amok. So definitely a problem that you might have with these guys is having them run through your own lines and actually losing you the battle. So they are a bit dangerous to use, and sometimes they seem like they just die. However, if you throw them into the fray at the right time, you might cause a mass rout and win a fight like that. All right, turn the tide of battle. This is a unit that turns the tide of battle. All right, then we have the Pontic Light Cav. Pontic Light Cav is a little bit better than the Militia Cav. They are missile cavalry units. They are not great. I would not use them still, even though they are better than Militia Cav. Alright, but I would still not use them. Then we have the Chariot Archers. Chariot Archers for me are the best kind of chariots because they have their missile attack. They do frighten nearby enemy units, and they can actually do some damage when they charge. Of course, they will not do as much damage as the Scythed Chariots, that's for sure. But they will do some damage, and if you just want to cause a mass rout, you might be able to do it with them as well, and they are not as expensive as well. Anyway, then we go for the Onagers. Onagers, nothing to say about that. they only have the Onagers. They don't have heavy Onagers. So early campaign pretty good, late campaign pretty bad, but it is what it is. And then we go for the mercenaries. We have Thracian mercenaries. Thracian mercenaries, 10 attack, 6 defense, 5 charge. They may charge without orders. They are fast moving, but they do not have good morale, which is a weakness for a unit of such type, because they have low defense. They might actually be killed very, very quickly indeed. So these guys are dangerous to use. You know, you might use it at your own peril. I'm not going to use them. I don't usually use these kinds of units. And then we have the Seleucids. They have very low armor, so they are very vulnerable to missiles. They're fast moving. They have good morale. They actually have precursor javelin with missile damage of 13 or missile attack of 13, which is actually pretty good. 10 attack, 5 defense, 3 charge. You know, these guys are decent units. They are the opposite of Hillmen and Eastern Infantry, so they have high attack, low defense instead of high defense, low attack. Are they any good though? Is there any trade-off? Well, yes, these guys are going to dish more damage, while the Eastern Infantry is going to take less damage, for example. Will I use Cilician parts instead of a unit of Phalanx Pikemen, for example? Well, no, I would still prefer to use the Pikemen. Will I use Thracian mercenaries instead of, let's say, Eastern Infantry? Well, yeah, probably I would. Instead of the Hillmen, probably not. I think I would rather take Hillman rather than Thracian mercenaries. So the mercenary units for the Pontus, I don't feel they are any good. So, you know, we went through all the units. What do I think these guys deserve? I think they're not as good as the Seleucids for one simple reason. They didn't have the elephants. Oh, and for 2 reasons. They don't have the elephants. They don't have a good mobile infantry unit. The Seleucids have the silver shield. Legionaries. These guys do not have anything of the sort. So it's you do pikemen, you do cav, and then you do missile units, the stock missile units. All right, that's what you do. You might actually do a lot of chariots. For example, chariots are pretty good for them. You know what I'm saying. But it is what it is. So Pontus. Oh, but the Seleucids also have chariots. Okay. So Pontus. Where should I put you now? What tier will Pontus be? And I believe, you know, S tier, that's reserved for the Romans. A tier, that's the Seleucids. But can they fight the Seleucids? You know, as you've probably been seeing on screen over this time, yes, they can fight against the Seleucids. Of course, I am fighting against an AI, but if you use Cappadocian Cav, you know, they are able to hold against cataphracts. They are pretty much the same unit. If you use bronze shields, they are able to hold against the silver shields. They are about the same unit. And the only problem there is you don't have any mobile unit. Alright, you don't have any mobile infantry unit. You don't have any elephants. And that is that is somewhat of a disadvantage in my opinion, but you can counter this with this roster. So it isn't necessarily worse. Their cavalry units are very good as the Seleucids, or even maybe a little bit better if you count the Pontic heavy cav. The same kind of chariots. They even have chariot archers, which is pretty good. They have the pikemen, which is also really good. They simply don't have the silver shield legionaries. They don't have the elephants. How much of a disadvantage could that be? And as I said, they can counter both. The silver shield legionaries are a little bit harder to counter, but you might be able to with some cheeky positioning on the pikemen. However, against the Seleucids, you cannot easily win the cavalry engagement, so you have to go, you know, maybe use some chariots to win you the cav engagement, maybe use some more cav because your cav is cheaper, and as such, guys, you know, I know this is gonna be a little bit of a shocker, at least for me it is, because I was expecting to put these guys on a B tier, but I'm gonna put the Pontics on an A tier equal to the Seleucids, because they are really good on the battlefield. So A tier you go. I hope you enjoyed the battle, and I hope you agree with this. If you don't, let me know why you don't agree with it on the comments below. If you like the video, please like the video and comment on it, and subscribe and share with other Total War lovers, because, you know, this might have some decent information. Did you know that the peasants were different throughout, you know, the different factions? Maybe you didn't. So that's awesome. Anyway, guys, this has been Pontus, the battle tier list, and we have the A tier. Stay cool. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great one.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much.